up guys, welcome back to another video. Very sorry, once again it's a bit late. It should be going up before the Chelsea-Fulham game. I am recording this before the Burnley-Luton game. As you can see, it's half an hour till kick-off. And I haven't looked at the team sheet for the Luton game either yet. I've decided to only do 5 games for this video because the other 5 are happening next week. I don't know why they've split the games up like this, but they have, so I'll do the second part of the predictions for next week. Start off with a big relegation clash, Burnley against Luton. Both teams have been really poor this season. Both sides are in that relegation zone. Actually, to be fair, I don't think Luton have been that poor. I think they're doing better than people expected, but Burnley have been terrible. They've been a lot worse than everyone expected them to be. However, I think they're going to win. I'm going 2-1, which is also the score at Kenilworth Road. I think Burnley will win because they have to win. If they lose here, there's no chance of them surviving. They haven't just signed Fofana on loan from Chelsea, but I don't think that he'll be registered in time for the game. If Luton do win here, then they have every chance of surviving. But with it being at home, if Burnley don't win here, mate, I think Company could be in a bit of danger, depending on the board's ambitions. If their aim here is to just go back down and make sure the team's good enough to come straight back up, then he could survive. However, if they're saying, well, we should be surviving this season, he might be gone after a loss in a game like this. Got a West London derby, Chelsea against Fulham. Fulham lost at home to Chelsea 2-0 earlier in the season when Mykhailo Mudryk scored his first ever Premier League goal. I'm backing Chelsea to win here. I'm going 2-1 to the Blues. I think that they have the quality, they should be able to win. It's all dependent on Pochettino and what tactics and players he plays. It's going to be tight though, because Fulham have actually been very impressive this season, especially lately. You know, with Jimenez in the team, they're a lot more dangerous. He's been scoring a lot of goals for him. And I do back him to score. Obviously, Chelsea will have to be wary of crosses because against Luton, that really undid them. That is also because Luton are probably the best team at them in the whole league, and Chelsea are probably the worst at defending them. Fulham aren't really as good at crossing. I don't think they don't score as many goals from crosses, but they're still not terrible at them. And it was obviously an area where Chelsea are very weak. So that could be an area that Fulham look to exploit. If Madueke, Palmer and Mudryk play as the attacking midfield trio, I think Chelsea should win without any real issues. But apparently Chilwell's back now, so I've been seeing a lot of memes about him potentially playing on the left wing again with Cole at left back, which makes no sense. I don't know what Pochettino is doing. Like, I get he has a big squad and needs to rotate, and Cole can play at left back, but he's clearly a lot better at centre back. So just play him at centre back. Play Chilwell at left back where he is actually good. And you can play Mudryk as a left winger. You can then play Madueke as a right winger, Palmer as an attacking midfielder, and when he's fit, and Nkunku as a striker, I think that's a very good front four. If Chelsea lose here, I think Pochettino has to go, because he's had half a year with a lot of money. He's bought players that he's wanted, and he's not getting the results. You know, they're in mid-table. They're barely in the top half. This isn't good enough. Both of these sides did lose the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-finals as well. Which wasn't great for either of them. I mean, Chelsea were horrendous at the Riverside. Fulham actually did alright at Anfield, but in the second half they were under the cosh quite a bit. We've got Newcastle against Manchester City. I've gone with the 2-2 draw. I think it'll be tight, although Newcastle have even more injury issues. Joel Linton out for potentially 6 weeks. No one close to returning out of the players that were injured, like Barnes or Willock. And apparently they might have to sell one of the better players in the summer, which is really, really stupid. It's very difficult for a team who aren't already at the top to get to the top because FFP restricts them so much. I know obviously if you get rid of FFP, then Newcastle could just spend whatever they want, but that might not work. You know, we've seen Man City try that and it didn't work, and when they went to a more structured approach, it did work. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of FFP, I can't lie. I feel sorry for Newcastle fans because they thought, oh, we're going to have some really good times, and they've already suffered a setback because the rules are not in favour of them. They did lose their last home game as well. Manchester City are going to be without Erling Haaland still for this game, but De Bruyne could be back in the lineup. He is back from injury officially, as is Jeremy Doku, both of them combining against Huddersfield in the FA Cup. It might just be because I quite like Newcastle, but I do think they can get something here. Obviously, fatigue has been a big issue for them this season, and they've had a week since that big victory over Sunderland, so they shouldn't be too tired. That shouldn't be an issue. Last season at St James's Park ended 3-3. It was a very entertaining game. We could see more of the same. Man City usually don't hit form at this point of the season either. It usually happens in Feb. So, you know, maybe that's going to continue. Sunday, Everton, Aston Villa. Everton on a horrible run of form, and Villa have been very good this season at home, but away they're not quite as good. And I think Everton are going to win. They have to win to stop the rot. I'm going 2-1 to the Toffees. Aston Villa haven't looked quite as good in the last few games. they've looked much more shaky even in the last 2 home games against Sheffield United and Burnley. 2 games where you expect them to walk over 6 points with no trouble at all. They haven't been able to do it with ease. And although Everton have been really poor as well, I think at home, hopefully they haven't lost their heads after their poor run of form. I think it'll be a tight game. Obviously they got smashed at Villa Park earlier in the season, but I do expect it to be close. Finally, we've got Manchester United against Tottenham. Tottenham have just completed the signings of Radu Dragusin and Timo Werner. I'm not sure if Dragusin can actually be registered for this game. Hopefully he can be, because it'd be a shame for Tottenham to not win because they don't have a centre-back. But I'm going with a 3-1 Tottenham, and I think they should be able to get this done pretty comfortably. Ange Postecoglou has got nearly all the targets he's got. The amount of players that have rejected other football clubs to come to Tottenham. You've got Dragusin rejecting Bayern Munich to come to Tottenham. You've got Maddison, who rejected Newcastle to come to Tottenham. Van de Ven, who rejected Liverpool to come to Tottenham. And also Timo Werner, who rejected Man United to come to Tottenham. That's insane. Quite clearly, Ange Postecoglou appeals to players. They really want to play for him. And this is why I think Tottenham are the only team that can stop Man City winning the title this season. I think they've got a good squad. They're going to have no European football. And once the full 11 is back, they'll be really hard to beat like they were at the start of the season. I think Tottenham should be able to win this without any real question. If they don't win this, I think Man City run away with the title. The high line could be dangerous for Tottenham with the attack that Man United do have. On paper, they should be decent against it because of their speed and their physicality. But they've been terrible this season. They've scored 22 Premier League goals, which is horrendous at this stage. Tottenham have scored the most from open play. Onana, he gets memed a lot, but I think he's actually been quite decent this season. He's gone to AFCON as well. Yeah, those are my predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you soon for another video.